restrain myself not to speak on issues which I don't intend to. The topic that I intend to speak is Jim, Do Not Kill the Indian, a contemporary understanding of morality. In 1973, when Professor Shamim Ahmed was in Bonn, a book, a collection of an essay written by J.S.E. Smart and Bernard Williams got published, called For and Against Utilitarianism. There, Bernard Williams had taken two examples. One of the examples was to do with a character called Jim. And according to me, in contemporary literature on morality, it has been a very, very important contribution. While giving the name Jim, Do Not Kill the Indian, my intention was just to, maybe many of us may have forgotten, few amongst us may not have read the book, but just to rehearse the memory for the example. The example was such that Jim had gone on an expedition and was caught in by a group of people who had gathered 20 red Indians and put them onto the wall. When Jim arrived there, this group captain said, yes, here is a gun. Good that you are an explorer. You are an honored citizen. Therefore, I give you the responsibility. Take this gun, shoot one of these Indians. If you shoot one of them, I'll think of considering it to leave the other 19. In this classic example that was taken, what should you do? It's from wherein begins Bernard Williams' case, that should Jim kill the Indian? I'm not going into details of this thought experiment. My only intention over here is that this example given by Williams, I thought, had tackled the issue that utilitarianism may not be the best way out, as the then situation that was going on till the 1960s and 70s. It is an important issue, but the issues raised by Williams, I think, had given a considerable heavy blow to the Reading ideology at that time. With this, since I have been requested to speak largely on thought experiment, on moral psychology, because in moral psychology today, what is most important is participation between different fields. It is not only philosophy that is being considered. It is not only psychology. It is not only the neurosciences that is being tackled today. Contemporary theories of morality today would like, I would say, an interdisciplinary approach through the fields of neurosciences, psychology, and philosophy. The attempt by psychologists to keep philosophers out has been tried, it has failed. Now they understand that without the intervention of philosophy alone, or without the intervention of philosophy, psychology is not going to move higher up. Neurosciences thought that the brain mapping itself would solve it. If I know which portion of the brain allows me to say, yes, kill the Indian, they thought that it will solve the issue. Or which particular portion of the brain will help me in saying, why one? I should run away. Because this is not within my hands. There are faculties in the brain today, conclusive proof that if our brain function is working in a certain area, we will decide in a certain manner. How those areas really function more in one particular case, and why not in some other, is an issue which is unsolved. And I think not only why, the question why, I think why not also, will be the areas in which academic philosophers will have a role to play. But my attempt over here is largely that we shouldn't be doing what, I can say as a student in the early 90s, when I said experiment as a student of philosophy, I was told in Delhi, psychology department में क्यों नहीं जाते हो बेटा? कलकत्ता से आके philosophy क्यों करो? Psychology में जाओ. But today I can assure you, you will not face this today. Students today. I can tell you in the mid-90s, even if you talk experiment, yes, for centuries, the experimental method has been slighted about in the realms of academic philosophy. I think time has come now that this is nothing untouchable about science of experimentation. We should welcome it. Scientists will do us no harm. We will help the scientists away. I do feel that we can do it. And in different areas of philosophy, there would be people doing MPhil, I understand over here. There would be people who would be working on philosophy of mind. There would be people working on philosophy of language. Thought experiments have not only worked in the areas of science alone. I'm not quoting the Galileo example, which many of you know. If I drop a feather and a stone, what would happen? It was a thought experiment before it really got practically done from the Leaning Tower. It was a thought experiment. Many of you are aware of the prisoner's dilemma. If I take two culprits, put them in different rooms, আর প্রচন্ড মানি যাবে, বলি তুই যদি না বলিস তাহলে তোর co-conspirator-কে বলে মারবো, সে বলে দেবে. If you say so, you will be saved. If your co-conspirator says so, he will be saved. What will be your reaction? So this kind of dilemmas in different fields, whether in the field of economics or whether in the field of physics. Many of you may have done a lot of John Searle, Daniel C. Dennett, the philosophy of language, in philosophy of language. There is a very important, another important conference going on in Bombay in a few days' time on Hilary Putnam's. Though Putnam at 90 plus would not be able to come, but he's been connected through Skype. His twin earth argument, in where he conceived an idea that there would be another earth in which water with the similar properties of maybe boiling temperature, color, is possible, but the chemical composition is different. What would happen? I'm not going into the details of that, but thought experiments can help us at times to respond to issues which we may not have thought earlier. Coming to another example, many of you may be very much aware of the internet, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. I'm seeing smiles at the latter half of this audience. Yes, I came across this example, and with the permission of the chair, I might elicit some response. A middle-aged couple, mark my words, a middle-aged couple goes on an expedition alone with no children, okay? With no children, they go on an expedition, ship expedition, and the ship faces a shipwreck. This couple runs to the deck to get into the lifeboat. As they run to the lifeboat, they realize that there is only one seat available. The woman, the wife, would want to get into it, tries to get in. The husband pushes the wife and jumps into the lifeboat. What do you think about the husband? Any response? Silent. The husband pushes the wife away, takes that seat into the lifeboat, and the boat leaves. What do you think the wife would say to the husband? Oh, lovely husband, how I love you. I'm trying to get it because after the great humorous, not comic, humorous earlier speech, to get a response, what do you think would be the wife? কি খুব ভালো করেছো যাও খেলা দিয়ে চলে গেলে? No. Yes, you might feel the husband has done a good thing. Isn't it? Husband has done a good thing to get into that lifeboat. Bad thing? Huh? Okay. খুব ভালো কাজ করেছে। বউকে ছেড়ে দিয়ে খুব ভালো কাজ করেছে।
They would have died together.
They could have died together. Good, lovely. I can understand that I am in an audience of very careful people. Very, very careful people. They would not want to respond. Good that they do not want to respond because it shows your philosophical nature of your mind. I mean, I got a response from my class. There anybody less than 18 here? Anybody less than 18 here? Anyway, I wouldn't take any chances. The point over here is that the wife did not say, you selfish man. The wife said, take care of the child. Take care of the child. The boat leaves. The boat sinks. Of course, the wife is dead. After 30 years, a document is found by the daughter who was raised by the husband after his death, and in which it was written that I would have loved to be with you under the depth of the sea. Every living day was held to me, but since we all knew that you were facing a terminal case of cancer 3, therefore I decided, for the sake of the baby, to be with the baby. So I understand that you also would have wanted me to do the same thing, but as very correctly pointed out, self-preservation is a necessity at times, but I took the decision of safeguarding the child to be more important, therefore I stepped into it. There are shades and trades of cases in which maybe at times we may think of the consequences and decide to take a particular step. So at times we are in a constant case of moral dilemma, what to do or what not to do. It will be a request for people who haven't got into this famous case of the trolley problem. Those of you who are working in ethics or are interested in ethics, please do and look into the trolley problems. It's a problem taken up by Madam Philippa Foot in the 80s and continues till the latest Ethica would also have in the 2015 edition. We'll also see versions of the switch problem, the trolley problem. Again, to elucidate the trolley problem, a very simple version of the trolley problem I am mentioning here is, I have a switch and I'm in a bridge, a train is coming. See, a train is coming, and I see there are 2 lines over there. One line, if the train moves on to that line, 5 people will get killed. I have this switch, and if I change the switch, the train moves on into the other line, wherein you have 1 person. What would you do? if you have the switch in your hand, there are multiple versions of the trolley problem. I'm not getting into it. Where you have to take the decision whether to kill the 5, whether to kill the 1. There are cases in which you find a big fat man like me, whether to push the man onto the trolley, maybe the route will be changed, and the trolley, you save the 5 person and the 1 person on the other line. What would you do if the 5 person was your boy or your boy or your girl there? What would you do? There are versions and versions of it. My only reason in which I'm trying to give you these examples, because at times examples makes it easier for us to understand. I have had 5 pages of or 7 pages of only on thought experiments, which I cannot read out, I can assure you, that who said what on thought experiment. Or how the Jeranklin experiment was first said by a Spanish fellow, then went up to 1898. Yes, it is required for historical reasons, not for philosophical reasons. We need to know, okay, but scenarios must be described to understand why we need to do it. I think the last 40 years in contemporary literature and morality has been to get back and maybe espouse what people have been telling for years together. I mean, yesterday there was a paper on Aristotle, and today what moral psychologists are doing, I mean, we'll be happy to know that they have gone into Aristotle in a much deeper manner in which he has ever been in the last 200 years. To get back into morality, to get back to the old scholars, how moral intuitions are being formed, what are the stages of development in which we are also tutored or programmed to decide we are. I mean, today also, sir was saying on schooling, because today psychologists have more or less agreed that there are stages of development in your morality which you can school. Of course, there would be individual differences. We have found with all kinds of examples with experimentation. With experimentation, the only problem that begins is what to experiment with, who are the subjects. If you have a subject which is taken from this kind of a community, you will get fantastic results. They would know what to say and what not to say. They will know when to evade a question. So this may not be the community, but whatever be those 73 people or the 2,000 odd people where experimentations have been done. Yes, as philosophers, we make mockery of experimentations. Yes. But we have come to a stage where we realize that experiments and their results may not be perfect. But science also is leading us to a road which may buttress our argument, which may help in our argumentation. At least we must give it to them. You know, emotions, how emotions are created, how individual choices are being made, how they are getting formed, is also at times a neurobiological explanation is also available. By not paying attention to those sections, we are not doing justice to them. And it is necessary, because philosophy is important, there's no doubt about it. My bread and butter is because of philosophy and philosophy alone. So in no way I would want it to be thrown away. And we all know, I still remember, I mean, today I was being told in room number 6 when somebody did not stop. I had a teacher, fortunately, he never came. I'm not naming him. He was a great teacher activist. He came thrice in the class. First day, he spoke for 15 minutes. First day he spoke for 15 minutes. Second day, he started with Plato's allegory of the cave. And the third day, he more or less gave us the question paper. Okay? And nobody complained because he was too big a man then. I'm not aware where he is now. But most probably, he did a moral thing. Then he did not teach us any immoral things in the class. He was completely absent. So he took the process of not telling us anything, largely. So I would only say that every one of us, the allegory of cave we have studied. Maybe while studying we never thought it as a thought experiment. So there will be cases. Yesterday I was hearing to Professor Sirajul Islam or Islamic philosophy. I mean, there are tons of thought experiments in even in Islamic philosophy. I'm not getting into the floating man theory in Islamic philosophy, where in Avicenna in the 11th century works have been done. And I would say that in every place we can use it in some sense. In many thought experiments, a scenario would be nomologically possible. Many of you may ask what is nomologically. In some sense, I've used it nomologically possible in the sense that it is possible through, according to the laws of nature. There will be examples in which we can think of anything which is not according to the laws of nature. John Searle's Chinese room. Am I talking Greek? If I am, I'm moving about from Greek to back to Indian English. So, I'm not reading out pages. I'll only say or conclude in that sense, because 320 is round the corner, and being sandwiched between two great speakers, it is a very, very difficult job. Yesterday I also had a paper on hair. I can only say attempts have been made to give moral theories. I mean, an attempt was made earlier to give a moral theory of the Nyaya and the Shankara. I'll only say or conclude. Hare, a piece of Hare's autobiography got printed in 2002 after his death, where Hare writes this, I'm quoting, "I had a strange dream, or half-walking vision, not long ago. I found myself at the top of a mountain in the mist, feeling very pleased with myself, not just for having climbed the mountain, but for having achieved my life's ambition, to find a way of answering moral questions rationally. But as I was preening myself of this achievement, the mist began to clear, and I saw that I was surrounded on the mountain top by the graves of all those other philosophers, great and small, who had had the same ambition and thought that they had achieved it. And I have come to see, reflecting on my dream, that ever since the hard-working philosophical worms had been nibbling away at the systems and showing that the achievement was an illusion." See, I told yesterday also while asking a question, the greatest of minds at times did not have a single disciple to follow them. Lukács and Williams had done away with what Hare thought about his ethics, according to me. Many speakers thought they did not. I'll only say that we are into realms of a study where to give a concrete answer by itself, that this is the answer, will not possible. And to search for this the answer is not the job of the philosophers alone. To ask the question is also an important task, a very, very important task. To me, yes, law-bound efforts are necessary. I mean, I have had the pleasure of listening to you on YouTube. And today when I heard it, I understood the pleasure of, not only of virtual reality, but of one-to-one. So it is at times an honor to know that this is also a path. I may not follow that path. Bernard Williams made me understand that yes, most of the times we are pretty pragmatic. We know if it is on the case of my wife or myself or my daughter, I may kill 20 if not 100 if Pedro the captain gives me a gun. Because I have seen up till number of Hindi movies where my sisters, not mine, the hero's sister, but the mother is caught finally, and the hero succumbs to all kinds of things. Okay? Whether it may be to give the document or whether it may be to make Basanti dance. We are aware of that. So my only attempt to this paper, which I haven't read out because of the paucity of time, because whatever I read out will not take me less than 55 minutes. So most probably if it gets published, most of you will have the discomfort of reading through it. For the time being, thought experiments have helped science, it has helped philosophy. Moral dilemmas are an important cog in the wheel of moral psychology today. Neurosciences are helping us. It may not give us the concrete answers. Utilitarianism also did not give us the answer, nor did Kant completely. It showed us the way. It showed us the way. And it will all have a cumulative effect on the development of the human effort on the science of morality, on the subject of morality. And thank you. The time is 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
For your illuminating presentation, and I hope at the end 3 speakers' deliberations we will have time for discussions, and we will have many more questions on this subject. So for the time being, I now ask Professor Amit Bhattacharya to speak on morality in the Buddhist philosophy. 30 minutes time, Professor Amit.
অর্পিতা ভট্টাচার্যের স্টুডেন্ট, তার নোকিয়া মোবাইল হারিয়ে গেছে আমাদের সেমিনার টাইমে। কেউ যদি পেয়ে থাকো তাহলে আমাদের কলেজ অফিসে দিয়ে দেবে।
Buddhaya Gurave. I would like to salute at the outset of my speech to Lord Buddha, my respected chairperson, Professor Gopal Chandra Khan, distinguished professors, scholars, and my dear students. In the Buddha Center, it is said by Ashabhasya that Lord Buddha defeated all of the gods. How Lord Buddha defeated? Why did he defeat? I cannot like to explain. It is implied. But whenever I am sitting here, I listened that Professor Papan Babu, my respected sir, he instigated me to talk something regarding morality, as because during pre-lunch session, my Ishta Sadhanata Gyan was completed. How? During pre-lunch session, our HOD, Professor Samim Bhai, he delivered me on an area. So, I may bunk, but this is not morality. We do have knowledge, obviously, that's because we are listening. But I do like to interpret that we have knowledge. And due to this reason, we would like to listen. We have a knowledge of Apasabdaha, but we would like to avoid those Apasabdas in our deliberation. It was reminded by Mahabhashyakara, Apasabdaha Varjaniya. And in our philosophical discourse, we also have seen a kind of morality was revealed by Indian philosophers in this method. They maintained a methodology during discourse. A discourse is going on, and discourse is divided into three parts. Tishra Katha Bhavanti, Vada Katha, Jalpa Katha, and Vitanda Katha. And we are sitting in listening Vada Katha. What is Vada Katha? It is Tattva Bhutsa Katha. We would like to detect true and false. How can we able to detect? We have to read it clearly. Each and every scholar must read the philosophy to detect true and false. We have a universal model of inquiry into truth. And this universal model was given by Indian philosophy. How the model was explained? Arthavati cha pramane pramata prameyam pramiti iti arthavanti bhavanti. We may gather perfect knowledge having followed this model. Now we have to know what is pramana. Process of knowing is called pramana. And as I have to discuss regarding Buddhism. So the process of knowing is divided into two parts, perception and inference. Kanada sugato puna iti tarkika roksayam vardharajena uttam. And next, the model has four parts. The first part is gone, pramana, and second is prameya. What is prameya? Prameya is object of knowledge. We have so many prameyas in the temporal world. Nayayikas have categorically explained the prameyas, Buddhists also. According to Buddhism, there are two kinds of prameyas. What are they? Salakshanam and Samanalakshanam. What is Salakshanam? All is like itself alone. I myself, as I myself. And the next, Pramata, the knower, he who knows. As because no one is trying to detect true and false. So who is Pramata in Buddhism? Pramata is Alaya Vijnana. What is Alaya Vijnana? Tat Sat Alaya Vijnanam Yat Bhavet Aham Aspadam. Alayastu Adhar. How can we translate Alaya Vijnana? Stored consciousness. Alaya Vijnana is nothing but stored consciousness. Another Vijnana we have, I do not like to mention it here, later it will be explained. And in the fourth sphere, we do find the pramiti. What is the definition of pramiti? Consequence of knowledge. Each and every philosophical school of India has followed this universal model. And in Buddhism, pramiti equates avishamvadatam jnanam. Now we have to know what is avishamvadatam jnanam. Samvadatam jnanam, perfect knowledge. Vishamvadatam jnanam, non-perfect knowledge. Avishamvadatam jnanam, not non-perfect knowledge. Negation of the opposite. Very important principle of Buddhist philosophy. Why actually Buddhist philosophers would like to use this type of dialectics? There are so many reasons. And one of the important reasons is Nayayikas, Vedantikas, all the Astika systems, we do find three moments. We know Srishti Sthiti Vinashanam Shakti Bhute Sanatani. But in Buddhism, there are only two kshanas. There are only two moments, creation and destruction. Now what is the moment? How do we define moment? Questions are raised by Buddhist scholars and answer also was given by them. Chandrakirti, in his Prasannapada commentary, categorically had mentioned what is khana. Parama Nikrishta Kala Khana. Smallest moment, smallest time, within a twinkle of an eye, Khana passes. So every moment we are changing, every object and subject has been changing. How? As because in Buddhist philosophy there are 4 basic principles. Sarvam khanikam khanikam, sarvam dukkham dukkham, sarvam salakshanam salakshanam, and sarvam sunnam sunnam. How can we explain sarvam khanikam khanikam? All is momentary, momentary. How can we establish this logic? If everything is momentary, and in the subsequent moment, if the same subject and object does not exist, then how can it be possible that we are listening and we are delivering? How can we? Buddhist philosophers also had given answer in this regard. According to them, the earth moves around the sun. Prithvi Suryasya Chatusparshe Tatraiva Bhramati. If earth moves, then all the subjects and the objects which are on the earth are moving. According to time and space, we all are changing our position Kalanuga and Deshanuga Bhavena. If it be possible, then we cannot say that the same object I am perceiving. If it be possible, then we cannot explain that the same my student is listening. Is it possible? Possible in Buddhist philosophy, as because in philosophy, Jukti hime vicharetu dharmahani prajayate. No illogical thought was delivered by any philosopher in Indian philosophical schools. So, scientific thought in Buddhism is revealed gradually, bit by bit, and due to this reason, to explore the scientific thought, Nagarjuna, Maitreyanatha, Asanga, Vasubandhu, Dingaga, Dharmakirti, Santarakshita, Kamalasiva, and so many scholars have come and expressed their views categorically. We are changing, but we do not like to be changed. Why not? As because if we admit that changiness is the characteristics of the world, then we shall be aged. So we do not like to admit. But it is the stark truth that we are changing. We cannot hold it. Nobody can. Today's morning it is gone. And so we do not have a past. You cannot hold the past. It is our logo vyavahar. And you also cannot be able to hold your future. Somebody was asked that what will you do or what would you like to do tomorrow? And he answered that I will read the Gita at every morning. So tomorrow morning also I will read the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. But the answer was given in this way by Buddhist philosopher that you cannot read Srimad Bhagavad Gita tomorrow. Why? The question was this, Katham? The art of argumentation was there. Asmakam Prachina Bharatvarshe Tarka Silpasya Esha Namuna. Why? Katham? Uttaramopi tatra pradattam. Answer also was given. As because when you will read this Srimad Bhagavad Gita, tomorrow will not stay. It will be entitled as today's morning. So we do not have a past, we do not have a future, we do have only present. And due to this reason, present moment, always think for present moment. And if we think for this moment, and in the subsequent moment, all of the objects and subjects are changing, then morality will come, as because I can rectify myself, I can purify myself in the subsequent moment. And in this way, theory of momentariness was explained categorically by Nagarjuna in his Madhyamika Karika. We know that in democracy there are 3 D systems. One is doubt. First D denotes doubt. We have samsaya. Sarvesham manovanam ridi samsaya vartate. We have doubt. And if doubt prevails, what may occur? Debate. Out of wisdom. Samsayite arthe naya pravartate. If we do not have doubt, we cannot raise question. So doubt is welcome. Not only that, in the third stage, we can take decision in 3D system. First doubt, then debate, and then decision. How the nature of decision was defined by Indian philosopher. If we inculcate, if we describe, we may be bold. Thousands of books are written in our Indian philosophical schools in this regard. Really we are proud enough that we are Indian, and all of the books are written in either Pali or Sanskrit. Why debate? By art of argumentation. Teacher takes his class, students may raise his question, and what did the teacher say? You may ask any question. Yatha kamam prasnan picchate. And if I know, it should be kept in mind. It implies that teachers do not know everything. If I know, then I will clarify in front of you all of those questions. Jodi vidyasyamo sarvam bhavo vakshamo. Esha riti भारतीय तर्कशास्त्रस्य तथा बौद्ध न्यायोपि एतादृशी रीति अस्माभिः परिदृष्टा. But in Buddhism, Siddhartha, he had everything. He had land, Kapilavastu. He was Yuvaraja. He was married. He had Sundari Bharja. It was our desire. Bharjam Gunaramam Dehi. Lord Buddha had. Lord Buddha also had a beautiful son. In spite of that, Sarvan Kaman Chandata Prarthayasya. You may pray, you may take all of those material objects as it was uttered by Lord Joma in Kathavalishana. But Nachiketa was hell-bent. Only Tattva-jnana was his desire. Only Tattva-jnana was his intention. So he wanted to know what the Tattva-jnana is. And the nature of Tattva-jnana was revealed by Buddhist philosopher in this way, as Naiyayikas did. Satasya sadbhava, asatasya asadbhava. But the definition of sat, somewhat different as Buddhist philosophers delivered and as Naiyayikas delivered. According to Buddhism,